Right, so any buzzing in the background is my brother's drone because he's doing that right now. But here's the next picture. This is something that I drew for my dad's birthday this year I painted him a thing, so I think this was last year's picture for him. And it's supposed to be sort of like a Thor's hammer. And I used a YouTube tutorial to draw it, and then again, rocks and fire. Don't know how to draw that, but I tried. This is an original drawing that I did actually while I was on a trip to Maryland. I didn't date this because I didn't, but I remember where I was, and this was really good for the time, so I didn't draw anything on the other side of the page because I wanted to keep it there, and yeah. But it looks really good, I think. And this sort of my attempt at like a traditional, like, looking person. This thing that she's holding is a fishnet. He or she, actually, it doesn't matter. This is, I think that's the first drawing in this book that I ever pen outlined. And I didn't use a great pen, so I don't know if I erased it, how good the outline would be, but it's Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. I'm gonna have to go in and... Okay, here's another anime dude. This one is actually not depressed. Whoa. And I think he was supposed to be like a car driver. He's got interesting hair. If any of you guys know who some of the people that I drew, like what anime they're from or anything, you can put that in the comments. And this over here, I'm not going to turn it. You guys can just turn your heads. Because that's Batman. And I wanted to draw it bigger and draw more things, but I was just like, I'm done. So that page is just sort of mostly empty. Here's the same picture twice, but neither of them were very good. This is probably from something. I don't know what it's from, but like the ears are just like that one's up by its eye and that one is in the middle of its cheek. So this is an original drawing, and it says Sir Robin of Lincolnshire. No, it says Sir Robin of Locksley on there, and then Lincolnshire up there. And it's supposed to be sort of like a modern person going back in time, and there's Robin Hood or something like that. I'm not really sure. That is definitely a drawing of something. And now my brother is listening to something in the background, so don't know what that is, but that's an okay, like, realistic. Shoulders are not super good, but there's these things I started with, like, the emotions on their faces, and then I added more to them, so there's sort of a poison ivy character, and then a vampire, and a lady who's getting wine poured down her shirt, and so she's upset about that. She's a ballerina. And then a random, like, crying kid with a lollipop, and a smiling person in the corner who's just being really creepy. Oh, there's another sideways thing. Turning the pages. So this is definitely a drawing from a picture, but this one came out really well, besides the fact that she has some thick thighs down there. The guy's goatee was also, I'm not sure if that was supposed to be there. She looks slightly vampire-ish, but other than that, I think that one came out really well. This is some random, like, doodles that I don't know what they were for. And then here's the first attempt at this drawing. A friend of mine identified it by the cuff on this person's shirt, and he just knew what it was from, so I wonder if any of you are that good at identifying things. So then this is sort of some random sketches, and then like sort of a weird comic thing, and it's like what she thinks she is, which is Gollum going like, my precious. What she wants to be, which is like a party girl, and then what she really is just sort of like a normal person. And somebody's coming up the stairs. And then here is that same picture that is on that previous page. And done a little better. Boobs are still really lopsided. But at least the patient looks like a patient. And then there's an operating light and a random sideways Christmas tree. Because I thought the page was too empty. Here's some more random doodling and a mermaid without a head. And a cool ombre skirt looking lady, which I actually really like. And the weird person with a feather coming out of their head. Let's just turn it sideways again. Sideways pages are like really annoying, especially when you get this far in. So this is a really pale drawing, but it's definitely from a picture, and it's a sideways drawing of a person. Woo. Then here, like these are some random like sketch doodle thingies, and then this is some more modern, like modern as in recent for me. So up here is a face sketch from a picture, and then this one was a picture that I drew. And originally, the little card he was holding up said F you, but the person I was drawing it for, well, I wasn't drawing it for them, but I was drawing it like kind of to be like them. And they got offended by that, so I changed it. And then, here's that same person again. This time they've got some tattoos. They've got a rock guitar and a tattoo that says I Heart AJ. Because it was like a picture that reminded me of a person that I liked at the time. And here's some boxers, because apparently they didn't sleep with their clothes on, which, I mean, it's assumed because they aren't wearing a shirt. I don't know what guys wear when they sleep. I don't really, look at guys when they're sleeping. That would be creepy. This is a more recent drawing. It was really hard for me to get the pose right, so she's got some sort of weird body space in there that I don't know what to do with. But I like her. Also, she's got some really interesting, like, foot area, but I like the overall picture. How it turned out was pretty good. And then this is, shading techniques for a school assignment last school year. So, pretty shading. Which was actually helpful, because I've been using shading a lot more. This was another assignment, which was to draw a still life of my bedroom with shading. Except I accidentally did like kind of the opposite. So here's that, and that is dated 2015. So I probably got this before, like more like 2014 or 2012. This is what this scene that is drawn from like right here is this scene. Like right here. Basically this, except for that it's what it looks like now. So that was 3 years ago. Okay, so this is a picture, and these people were drawn from a picture, but then I drew the outline myself, and it's supposed to be Jack Frost helping with, or in my opinion it was Jack Frost helping with a person with a cold, and they're floating on the ice in the middle of the ocean while the sun is setting. So, yeah. And then, this is the very weird stick figure comic that I drew. And it's focused. I'm not going to read it to you because you have eyes. So if you want to pause that and attempt to figure out what my handwriting says, then yeah. Okay. I was a strange child. I'm still a strange child, actually, so. Okay, so that was another picture I drew from a drawing. Got some wonky eyes there. She doesn't have scars on her neck. That's just part of her face mask. He or she, I don't remember, but I think it's supposed to be a she. Yeah. This one's a sideways thing, too. Yeah, my attempting to use the internet to teach me how to draw realistically didn't work so well. There's Elsa, Jack Frost, and then Jack Frost again, and Ben 10 twice, and Hiro Himada. Only I gave him a 5 o'clock shadow because it made him look older, and I think it looks better that way. So, Hiro from Big Hero 6, if, yeah, it says in the future, like when he grows up. And I think he looks actually cuter that way. So they should make a video. Although you should get rid of the gap in the teeth, because, I mean, you don't have to, but Disney just, this is some drawings that my mom did, doodling in my sketchbook. Turning the pages. Here's some random sketches. Don't think I used any references for that. That's a person. That's another person being terrified. It's really fun drawing eyes. I think that's like my favorite thing to draw is eyes because there's so much expression conveyed in them. There's Link and Tinkerbell, and these two I think came out really well. Like Link came out really well of the things that I've tried to draw. And I collect a bunch of pictures on Pinterest to draw, and I've collected up like a bunch of him, but I haven't drawn any of them yet, so maybe I'll make it a point to do that in the future. Those 2 pages are pages where I just, did a bunch of like color mixing, but they're names, so I can't really show you them. But I was testing out what colors looked cool together with crayons and layering, and yeah. So this is definitely from a preconceived image, but then I did the background myself, as you can kind of tell by where the lines are darker. This person is just like another depressed kid in the hospital. Depressed and sick people, I guess, are the kind of thing that I liked enjoying drawing at the time. There's some more people. This was actually like my icon on something for a while. I can't remember what thing it was on, but and then this is another sick person in the hospital. Like, if you ignore the fact that his hands and arms are really like not great, the rest of it looks pretty good. I also kind of forgot to put these little dashes on this side so it's randomly blank. But other than that, I wonder if he's getting a blood IV or something else and what happened to him. Poor child. Why is turning pages so hard? Okay, so that is, I'm gonna move this over a little so I can actually see it. So this is a kid, and I can't remember if I drew it from a picture and then I just added it later, or if I drew it of a person or something. I remember like drawing this scene and then adding the lunch pail and the backpack with keys on it. This was Batwoman, like the one with red hair, from a superhero comic. I got the important parts in, but I didn't get them proportioned correctly, and I actually later on got in trouble for having this picture in here, hence you can see why I don't have a lot of pictures that I like that. And then this is the first time the first drawing, not maybe that you've seen, but that I consciously drew 2 characters that were androgynous or of the same gender. I didn't really decide. 2 characters that were androgynous that were in love, and then I wrote a little poem at the bottom, and it's about this person is going off to war and they don't really have a choice, and this person can't go with them or isn't going with them and is really upset. More depressed people, yay. So at the top here is a drawing from a picture, and that one is pretty good. I like that one. And then these are also from pictures, and they're like, that one's okay. I don't remember what the point of that one is. This one's sideways, but it's a sick person, and the focus of all these is basically the eyes, because eyes are awesome. There's another person. I don't know if I drew this from a picture or not, but based on the quality of the rest of the pictures on the page, I probably did, because these are original characters. Except, like, I kind of don't quite understand the point of OCs, like, because I don't write characters that I draw, usually, except for when I write poetry on the same page. This was just random doodling, because this was one of the exam days at school, and so I was just drawing, so a friend had brought her own pictures that she wanted to draw, and so there was a snowman and this cat, and then I drew a picture of my friend, a different friend, and then this is a leaf, and oh, my finger's in the way, and there's my friend again, laying her head down, because exams are just awful. And then this is a book, and it says, How to Write a Book by Never Eaten Human, John Cena. From inspiration to perspiration to boredom to finesse. I don't know what that was about. And then there's just cool designs, and this is when I started, like, doing drawing that wasn't a picture. Like, it didn't mean anything. It was just, well, not that it didn't mean anything, but it was, like, it didn't have to be a thing. It could just be. Because, like, it's really hard for my brain to understand that there doesn't have to be a reason for things. You can do things without having a reason. So it's still hard for me to do. So that's from a picture. That's also from a picture. And for some reason, I decided to go over it in Crayola markers, which now that I'm much older and, well, not much older, but I'm much more experienced, I know that they're not the best things for drawing with. Pretty sure all of these are from a picture. But look at how cute some are, and some are less cute. And there's the second picture of that same picture on the other page. Another person that I colored in with Crayola markers. That one turned out better. I can't tell if the things by her ears are hair or earrings, but that's okay. That one might be original. And that one probably is original too, actually. Then this is started being from a drawing book that I had. Now it's supposed to teach you how to draw, like, moving poses. So there was this guy and this girl. But these were the ones that didn't have the tutorials. I just drew them. Because the way I go through a drawing book is I just start at the first picture that it shows you, not the first picture that it gives you a tutorial for. So these people I drew from that tutorial book, some of which I had tutorials for and some of which I didn't. And so I made the ones on this page. Well, not all of them, but this one and this one were supposed to be zombies. So, like you can see here, there's blood on their clothes. And here's where my book starts to have more color in it, and I really like this part of my book. Well, it's not a book, it's a sketchbook, but then these are more people with stuff. Again, also from the same thing. Like, this bat kind of must be made of rubber or something, but overall it helped me, like, learn how to draw people in different positions, which I have since forgotten how to do. This is from that book, I think. Yeah. And so is that. And then, I drew the drawing utensils, and then here's my attempt to draw a thing by just looking at it, and then I added my own stuff to it. Here's my redrawn the same thing after using the tutorial. Well, it was a book thing, so I can't say if it's a tutorial, but this and this are the same thing, and so that shows you how much drawing, like, a specific way can help. So then I had bought this book, actually, or maybe I received it, I don't know. It was my book, and then a friend borrowed it and never gave it back, and I kind of want it back. But I started doing the same thing that I did with the other book, and I just started drawing them. So this is what it looks like without having any step-by-step stuff. And then this is this book, the book that I was using before, where, actually, no, maybe it is, I'm not sure. I think this was just some eyes that I drew, but I don't know, because some of them, like, the faces are good enough to have been from a book, and the clothes are not. And then that was my attempt at drawing Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon, and then a random sketch. So this is this is from the book, and it's this Pokemon trainer kind of thing with a Firefox, and then I did the background myself, I think. And then these are expressions, I think, from the book. So there's happy and nervous, sad, angry, and terrified, and then I gave them, clothes and hair and stuff. This is like a really cute hairstyle, and I wish I could do it, and I like it, but my hair doesn't work very well.